All right. Um, so Tomiwa, for the first question, we'd like you to share with us a brief overview of your journey as a young designer and probably where you started, how you started, what you studied in the school. Did you study design? Did you study something related to design? And what inspired you to pursue a career in design? Over to you.
Hi Esther, thank you for
Hi.
having me here. Hi everyone, my name is Tomoa Jai, popular known as Jackie Tomoa. So yeah, my design career started actually year 2019. So I wanted to actually like after my WAEC examination, I wanted to go into tech, and I consulted my uncle because he's into tech, cloud engineering. And actually then like I didn't have like a specific tech career to go into. So I was somehow like just I don't just know what to do then. So he advised me to start with design, like you just start from there. So when you're done with design, then you can know what next to do. Then I attended a 1 week graphic design boot camp. Then it was just Draw and Photoshop. So for 2 years, I was just working on brand designs, flyers, and stuff like that. So after then, yet I think year 2021, early 2021, then I just started to go into product design, UI UX. I thought it was going to be hard at first, seeing like the Figma interface and stuff like that. So I bought a course then. Then I attended a boot camp as well, just a day boot camp. And when I got home that day, I just started designing. Ever since, or just like try stuff, and it has been working ever since.
Okay, wow, that's great. That's awesome. So your uncle got you into tech, kind
Yeah.
of, not then you just took interest in product design. That's very, very innovative. So you've been working in the design field for I said 3 years now, from
Yeah,
2021
like it's design
design
generally. Yeah, I think 5 years, but product design 3 years. Yeah.
3 years. Okay, wow. All right. The next question I want to ask. So during the time you've been working as a designer, can you
Yeah.
tell us about a particular memorable project you've done? Um, a particular memorable project you've done and how you collaborated with the clients or and stakeholders and the lessons you've learned from that, like a particular memorable project you've done.
Okay, so I feel like the general problem is um balancing between creative freedom and client expectation. They get like you've been into this field probably maybe a couple of months or years, you know how it works, you know a good design, you know a bad design, but the client is expecting something else. Probably he wants you to put a pink text on a green background or something just weird. But you know what is right. So it is pretty hard to convince like a client most times. But I think I've been able to like solve that like when by establishing like a very strong communication and showing the clients case studies. They could just check on maybe competitors stuff concerning or related to that project, then you could just show the client. And I feel like that works most times because it is very hard to like to want to do your own thing and this client is expecting something else different entirely. So and the best way I've been able to solve that is just communication, like setting up meetings, showing the client stuff and stuff like that. So it actually works. Yeah.
Okay, okay, that's great. Going back to your first comment, so I think you said something about learning product design from a boot camp and you
Yeah.
came home, then you started designing. So did you learn majorly on your own, or you had like something that uh, a training that you took apart from the boot camp? And how many days or weeks was the boot camp? And did you learn majorly on your own, or did you focus more on the training on the boot camp training?
So yeah, starting with I think it is pretty easy for like a designer, one designer or graphic designer transition into product design, knowing that they already know what design is, they know the
Oh yeah,
basics,
that's
the
true.
rules, stuff like that. They know how design works. So what just needs to learn is like how to use Figma, and there's some other like things to learn. How UI works, how UX works. You know that they are two different things entirely. So design was supposed to be it's actually a 2 days design bootcamp, but I was able to attend just a day then. So it was just like the introduction then wasn't really much. So it was just like hands-on practical, do you get? So we were shown a couple of tools on Figma and how to use them, how stuff work on Figma. Then knowing that, because I'm used to Corridor and Photoshop, so me using Figma is pretty easy because I know how most of the tools work, like the pen tool, the frame and stuff like that. So I just like I when I got home that day, I bought a course, a very cheap course. Then I was just learning, then practicing, learning and practicing. So I was checking dribble. I was checking dribble for designs. Then I was replicating them on my phone, and yeah, like I did that for a whole month, learning, then replicating the designs. Then I was showing people, like people that are already in that space. And after a couple of months, I was just doing everything on my own, like good, good.
Wow, that's great. So, what was the time frame between when you started and when you got your first job in product design, like a paid client job, that kind of job?
Yeah, do you mean like a remote, like a work or a gig?
And like a gig can be a gig or work. Like
I
you
think
got your first paid gig, yeah.
so. Then I wasn't really after like rushing to get a gig then, because I was having a poster syndrome. Probably maybe I don't know much yet. Do you get? So I wasn't really after a gig. I was just really after like perfecting my stuff. So then, but the thing is, whenever I show people my portfolio, then they'll be like, "Oh, you good already? You can just up on the gig or
Yeah.
something." So I was trying to make friends then, and I got my very first gig from a friend. It was a Web3 gig, and then I was just doing normal UI without gradients, just blank stuff. You get no animation, no really much animation. So my first gig was a Web3 gig, and I was paid very well. I think after it was after 7 months, 7, 8 months,
Wow.
after
Okay.
7, 8 months of this thing of learning. So like I had to like use a day to learn Web3 scopes and all of that. Then the following day I just worked on the gig, and it came out like very, very nice. Yeah.
Okay, wow. So what I could learn from that is that you shouldn't rush. It's not about how fast,
Yeah,
but how well.
exactly.
You have to master your craft. Because it can get frustrating when you start and you're expecting within the first month you just want to get that
Mm,
dollar, that
that
job
way.
that will fill in dollars. Yeah. Wow, so I get that. So you mentioned something about getting your first gig from a friend. So
Yeah.
networking basically. So
Yeah, no,
yeah. So how important is networking to you? And like we've heard, you use networking to get your first job, and how much has networking actually helped even beyond that in helping you improve your craft and also getting new opportunities?
okay, so yes, like the thing is, for you to network, you have to build in public. That is one main thing. For you to network, you have to build in public. People have to see what you're doing. You can't just like disappear for a year to learn a skill, then you're coming back to now
Yes.
like you just disappear, and you want to like start making the money. I would tell that like your very first gig, 90% like it would come from a friend, a family, or something like that. They get like they're referring you. So the thing is, when I started design, I took building in public very serious, because then I was using like Facebook. So whenever I design, I make sure I post it. Like I was taking people along with me on that journey. That okay, when I started learning my starting from when I started my very first design, when I did my very first design, I posted it on my Facebook story. I was just like taking people along with me that okay, this is what I
Yeah.
do. So, and I was making friends in that niche. and outside that niche, I meant the design niche. So I was making developer friends, designer friends, and other any career tech field. So my first gig came from like a very close friend, like I've said before, because everyone knows that this is what I do. Like they get this is what I do, and whenever they see maybe they get a gig or they see a job posting somewhere, they'll just like send me the link and I would apply. And I would see that 70% of money I made from this design space still comes from referrals. And one thing again is that when they refer you to people, always do your best, like give your best, because that is how you're building your pipeline. So when you give this person a very good job, the person refers it to another person, that person refers to another person. They get, because even most times I just get random messages from people and they'll be like, oh, I got your number from somewhere, from someone. They get. So I make sure I don't disappoint them. I give them my best, and they always come back. So that is how I was able to like make like my networking and everything work.
Okay. Wow, that's a very good insight actually. So I don't know if you can come closer to your camera a little bit so that we can
Okay.
see. Yeah,
Is
thank you
it
very
better?
much. Yeah, that's better now. Thank you very much. So yeah, we can't overemphasize the importance of networking and doing a good job, like you said. Um, so I want to ask, um, you when you started, or as when you were a new designer, what are some of the challenges you faced at the start of your career? Were you overwhelmed? Was it overwhelming for you? Did you go through that phase of what am I doing? Stuff like that. So, what are some of the challenges you faced, and how are you able to overcome those challenges?
Yeah, I think the major challenge is imposter syndrome. Like you feel like you're not good enough. Sometimes I would post my design and I would sound that person and I'll be like, are we doing the same thing? Are we doing this same design? Do you get? You just be like, oh, I have a very long way to go. And it's good to think that way because it's like a motivation pushing you to work, pushing you to design every day. You get? So, but the best way to overcome them is like making friends, designer friends. Always have a mentor. You can't do it on your own. This is not magic. You get? Always have a mentor that you show your designs before putting it out there. Always make like friends within that niche. They like people are like there are great designers out there, and the funny thing is that not all of them are proud or hard to reach. So you could just send a cold DM or something to them. Okay, this is my design, and they will just like give probably 2 minutes of your time to give you like a very perfect review of what they think about the design. So I feel like the major challenge is just imposter syndrome. You feeling like, oh, I'm not good enough. This design is bullshit, stuff like that. And the best way to just overcome them is that show people what you design. You can't design something and judge it yourself. Don't be a perfectionist. Always take mistakes and know how to handle them. Do you get? So show people, get feedback, and go back to design what you've done.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So based on what the last thing you said about feedback, something I see nowadays. Most new designers, mostly, they don't really know how to handle criticism and feedback. So it gets too defensive when someone is like, okay, maybe reviewing their works and all that. So, what will you advise as a young designer? How do you handle criticism and feedback? Like, what do you advise those people? How should they
So
get
the
off that thing? So, thank you.
okay, so one thing you should know is that not all feedbacks are right. You get. There are some people there that are just hating. Like what you did is actually right. Your design is good, but they just want to hate. Maybe they can't do what you just did. You get. Don't accept feedback from anyone. It is okay to like accept some. You feel like, oh, this is right, but also you can't know if this is right. That's why I said that you can just like get a mentor, like a mentor on that design space, and always show the person design. Because when I was starting designs too, people like when I was like 7 months into design, I'll just see random folks that just completed the Coursera Google UX course coming to like you. It's even popular. You see people that just finish. the Coursera Google UX course, coming to Twitter or whatever social media to say that Amazon UX is shit, Uber UX is shit. Do you get? So that's why I say don't just accept anyhow feedback. There are people out there that they don't even know anything. Accept feedback from people that matter, people that know what design is. I can't just I can't do something and one random person just come and be like, oh, this is wrong. You don't know anything about UX, you don't know anything about UI. I can't just put couple of features in a page and everything looks jam packed. So the thing is just get a mentor. That was what I did when I was starting design. I had about two mentors then, and they are very, very good, very, very good. One of them was a senior designer at Amazon AWS. So whenever I'm done with my designs, I show him, and the other guy too is a very good designer. So I show both of them, and I go back to do the mistakes. So that is it. Always gets a very good person in that design field to give you feedback on your designs. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much for sharing that. I want to give try to the audience. If you have any questions for Tomiwa, you can do just raise your hands or use the chat box. So while you are doing that, setting your questions, I don't know, Tomiwa, I don't know if you would help, if you would do this, or can you just give us a brief tour of your workspace? I used to see. I'm seeing some pictures on Twitter. Well, I don't know if you can. If you can, that would be nice. If not, no problem. I know you're not prepared.
My workplace is messy at the moment, and I have to switch to my phone to do that.
Do
But
that.
it's messy at the moment. Yeah.
All right. I wanted to be
It's
nosy a little
weekend.
bit.
It's weekend,
Okay.
so I'll be back on decks tomorrow then. It will be nice
Oh,
then.
okay. That's good. So, from what you said now, it's a weekend. So there should be a balance between work and relaxing, enjoyment. Did you always have this? Or do you have work-life balance, or was there a time in your life where you were so focused on work? Did you have to learn work-life balance? And yeah, so how did you build work-life balance?
My work life balance is very poor. I won't lie.
Uh,
Most times I be like, oh, I want to rest. Then okay, the thing okay, what affected my work life balance was that where I was working previously, if I work overtime, I get paid. You get. So
mm,
I would be like, I think I need more money this month. So I'm always working extra time so that I can get extra payment at the end of the month. So that actually ruined my whole work life balance. And now like this, if I sound to West and you just come with a gig, problem of my developers, my friends, they'll be like, oh, there's this quick gig I want you to hop on. I will just get off bed and start working. So it is all about the money, man. For now, yeah,
it's all
about the
about
money.
the Okay, okay, I see. So is there what's your go-to comfort music? Do you listen to music? Do you listen to music while you're designing? Yeah, you can go
Yeah,
on.
when I'm designing, sometimes I want the music, sometimes the music is affecting me or disturbing me. Like when I have to think, you get. But most times I love enjoying country music. Yes. But if I'm not working and I want to chill, I'm probably on TikTok or Reddit. Reddit is like my favorite forum. I spend 3 to 4 hours. I spend 3 to 4 hours on Reddit daily, Reddit, Medium, and Warrior Forum. So yes, but when I'm not working, TikTok, Reddit. When I'm working, sometimes I listen to music, probably gospel, hip hop, anyone that works at that time.
As a spirit leads. All right. Do we have questions from the audience? You can do also raise your hands. We have questions for Tomiwa. This is a very this is a good opportunity for you to ask a question. Okay, okay, I can see some hands. Taiwo, you can unmute yourself and ask the question.
Hello, good evening. Can you hear me?
Good evening,
Can
Taiwo.
can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hey Akitomi, how are you doing?
I'm fine. How about you?
I'm doing all right. First of all, I'd like to tell you that you are really good looking.
Thank you.
All right. So not to take your time, let me just ask you a very brief question.
Your network is unstable. I could barely hear you.
Yeah, it's Taiwo. We can't hear you anymore.
Is that fine?
Can you come again?
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's
Can you
clear
hear me
now.
now? Can you
Go
hear me
ahead.
now? All right. So, what trends or changes in the design industry do you foresee in the coming years? Like, what do you think the design is going into in these coming years?
Like, is it trend or the demand aspect, or what are you talking about?
Akitoma, I said, what trends or changes in the design industry do you foresee in the coming years? Like, what trend or change? Where do you think the design is going? What do you think? What trend do you think design will go into in the coming
Oh,
years that's coming now?
okay.
Like,
So,
yeah.
firstly, the demand will always be there, but the thing is, there are new trends at the moment. Like, okay, for the AI, for because I mostly work on softwares, design. So, like last couple of years, late 2021, so there is this very new trend, like designing landing pages with ingredients and animations and stuff like that, like motion, what is it called, motion kind of landing page. And also, if you look at this thing, the software's UI too, like they are looking very different from what designers like meant to be before. These things are very good, like they are very good, but I noticed that they are being used by new startups. Yes, new startups, especially the AI startups, just the AI startups, because when it comes to trends, I mostly look at what unicorns and big companies do, like Google, Paystack, Stripe. That is what I actually look like. But at the moment now, the thing is the AI is bringing the money. Yes, but one thing is that AI won't take your job, because the even the software is that those AI software, they are not being coded by AI. They are being coded by like who developers, human developers, and they are being designed by humans as well. So, and this AI stuff taking your job is, I'm not sure that would happen. You get that demand will always be there. 20 years to come, demand will always be there. There are hundreds of startups like I am opening every day, day by day. So people feel like, oh, maybe in the next couple of years, the demand for design will not be there anymore. The demand will be there, but it might just be slightly different. Like now, a couple of years ago, we have like job posting, like we need like designer, just normal designers for their startups or their companies. Now, like is some of that are even specific. Like we need Web3 designers. Like under design, we have different niches. We have Web3, we have SaaS, we even have fintech designers. You get so that demand will always be there. But in the like in the next couple of years, you would notice that, or you would see that they will always like be specific about the kind of designer they want. So you just have to like adapt to that trend, and you have that's why I said we should keep learning every day. So when you keep learning every day, you will just see yourself like fitting in to that trend, or fitting into that scope of design in next years to come. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. But sorry, I have another question. You said something like. So is that fine if I ask another question?
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
think so. Go ahead.
All right. So you said we keep learning every day.
Yeah.
So as a senior designer, like it's safe to call you a senior designer, yes?
Yeah, maybe I've led couple of projects like
All
you.
right, thank you. So as a senior designer like you,
Yeah.
how do you develop your design skill and knowledge?
So yes, like I said before, that if I'm not working, I'm always on Reddit. So there's this design subreddit on Reddit where you learn about new design stuff, new UX features and stuff like that. So the thing, I think I prefer reading to watching videos. Yes, and the best way to actually learn is like reading from people who know. Do you get? So, and how do you access these people who know? Probably on Twitter or forums. So, if you don't, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. If you don't learn every day, you would be lost anytime soon. So, to like know what is going to know trends, you have to like make research. You have to learn every day. You have to design every day. You get? So, and it's all lie down to networking. Make friends with people in that field. Like I have a couple of friends who are seniors. I have a friend who is a senior designer at AWS, and they are adapting to new trends and stuff like that. So I'm always in touch with them. Like, okay, what is happening? Do you have anything new about design? Do you learn anything new and stuff like that? And also even the Figma software we're using, like there are a couple of updates coming in every day. We're just using Figma now, and Figma is telling you to install your next update on launch or after launch. You get? So the thing is that there are new features coming in, there are new stuff coming in, and this is why you have to learn every day, and you have to also design almost every day or 4 times or 5 times in a week. Does that answer your question? Are you there,
Oh
Taiwo?
yes, 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 yes. I'm there. I can tell more. Thank you so much. You just um increased my knowledge on design. I'd really appreciate that.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you, Tayo. Raphael, you can go on.
Hi, good evening, Akintomoa. How you know?
Good evening. I'm fine.
Yeah. So I wanted to um hear your take on no code development platforms these days. As a developer, I feel like you might have an insight on these things. Is that assumption
Okay.
correct?
Yes, no code development softwares like Webflow, Bubble, Framer, they are all good, but I won't lie, they are just for like quick jobs. You don't have 100% control over them. You can't do some stuff. Okay, when you say like no code using them on project, do you mean like the front end only, or like from front end to back end to cloud and everything? Because I would only suggest no code for front end. Yes, like Framer, Webflow. But when it comes to like handling software production A to Z using no code, I don't think it's advisable, because I don't think those no codes can actually undo much requests. Like when you keep growing your startups, I don't think they can. And again, yes, they're actually very. Most of them are expensive. I won't lie. Like Webflow is very expensive. You have to keep paying monthly. But when you're using, what is it called? When you're using like uncoded React, HTML, and CSS, there's not like monthly payment aside your domain and hosting. But with Webflow, you still have to like keep paying for the domain. You have to keep paying for using Webflow. So even cost wise, I would go for hand coded. And even when it comes to like handling much requests and stuff like that, I'll still go for uncoded. But yes, I use no code tools, but I don't just really advise them for. You could just use them for your micro projects. Yes, for your micro project that you just want to do them for less than 200 users or 500 users. Yes,
Mm. All right, now. Thanks, man. You're looking
you're
sharp, by
welcome.
the way.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Oh, okay. Taiwo has raised up his hand again. Okay, before I don't know if Taiwo wants to ask a follow-up question. Okay, that was a
Thank you.
mistake, I guess.
Yeah.
Joshua, you can ask your question.
All right. Good evening, Akintanwa.
Good evening, too.
All right. So, I wanted to ask, as a beginner designer, like in terms of posting frequently, what kind of projects do you advise I start with?
Like posting frequently, right?
Yes. What kind of
Okay, so
projects can you advise?
okay, I don't know if you have a niche yet, but it's not advisable for a beginner designer to have a niche yet. So you have to try like a variety of projects. Then you from there you will know your strengths and your weak points. But Yeah, posting frequently is good, but put out good stuff out there. Yes. So just put out like, I'm not saying like only does the best, like just good stuff. There are some people that will just design random cards and that are posting every day. Do good projects, do you get, and post them out there. Not just like today you're doing just elder, you're posting elder here, tomorrow you're posting just cards. People won't really give you like feedback on those kind of projects because they are just you just I think most time you just want like UX corrections based on those projects. But you just put out good stuff out there, good designs, good projects, probably case studies or a full landing page or stuff like that. Yes. Does that answer your question?
Yes, yes, that's my question. But I wanted to ask you, do you offer mentorship to people?
No, I don't. Pexel is the best place. Like, yeah, but I've attended like their sessions, not one, not three times, not four times, and their students are really doing well. So if you're a beginner here and you're not good yet, or you're just starting, just go there and networking. And again, networking in tech schools. I did been like attended like a very standard tech school then. I should probably be somewhere better than this because you would make much friends there, and people teaching there, they have experience, like they have more experience and they have access to opportunities than average people like us have because they've been in that space for quite number of years. So like if you want to like be open to job opportunities and stuff like that, internship, just or mentorship, just sign up on Pexels. Yeah,
All right, thank you.
you're welcome, man.
Okay, thank you very much, Akintomiwa. Oh, we still have some hands. Okay, before we take other questions from the audience, so we had some questions from people that registered. Some people asked some questions. So I'll just be asking you like two before we now move to the audience again.
Okay.
Um, so, uh, so someone asked, how do you approach designing for different platforms such as web, mobile, and physical products?
So we come again.
That how do you approach designing for different platforms such as web, mobile, and physical products?
Physical products.
Yeah, I don't know if it's physical product, but
Okay, probably the person thinks maybe I design
physical
like
products.
physical products using Blender or stuff like that. So I design UI and UX only. So yeah, when it comes to responsiveness, you should know how to work with. You should know how to work using auto layout and breakpoints. You get so different frames with different sizes, and you should know how to calculate breakpoints because you should not just leave the responsiveness only to the developer. Know how to use your grid, know how to use your breakpoints, know how to use your auto layout and icon sizes. Like make sure that consistency is there. Your text, you can't just put a 64 pixels text on a mobile screen. You should be expecting something weird. So just do what is good. Your eye should tell you what you're designing, if it is good or not. So that I should also put it out there too. Yes.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, so another question is, I think you said something. One person was asking about as a beginner niching down. So when is it right for a designer to niche down, like to choose your own niche?
Yeah, there is no right time per se. The thing is, okay, you might probably enjoy designing fintech apps or okay, let's put it this way. Okay, so when you start designing, like you're making designs every day, it will get to a point that you'll be like, today I want to design again. Let me just do fintech app. Tomorrow let me do fintech app. Next one let me do fintech app. You just find yourself loving one particular niche, probably because of you are used to that design style or you enjoy fintech apps, UI and stuff like that. So when I started designing, I actually enjoyed designing anything web because I don't really like mobile. I do mobile a lot, but it was hard for me to learn material UI design because mobile you have to learn a lot. You have to when designing apps. It's not just you can't just open your frame and start designing stuff. There are kind of icons you have to use, like the sizes, the spacing and everything. It's not just something you just come up from. And again, there's something there is something like if you're designing for like native apps that they have to like design they have to develop Android and iOS differently. There's a way you do that. There's a way you that design is special, it's different from you designing for cross platforms like using Flutter. The same app you're using on iOS is the same UI you would see on this thing. So they are different. So and me, I just enjoyed web designs like desktop, anything web app. I actually enjoyed than this thing. So I found myself just loving software's design. So that was how it happened. But I can do everything, but I just enjoy software design. I apply for only software jobs. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much for that. So last question. So anyone that has a question, you can raise your hands again. So when I have this one, you can ask yours. So last one from the registered people. So how were you able to overcome or conquer the challenges that come with tech and schooling?
Hmm, that's a
Mm,
big question.
that's
Tech and schooling. So at some point, I had to leave my full-time remote job to focus on school. That was last 2 years. Not last, yeah, last year. Sorry, last year. So it would work sometimes. Sometimes it's not working because you would have impromptu meetings. That is one thing. Is like definitely you would have impromptu meetings, and it might be clashing with your lecture schedule. So the thing is that it's just better for you to just do part time part time rules and always indicate tell them that you are a student. Some companies are cool with it, while some they don't want part time roles or they don't want a student because they know that you will be filled with school activities. But you don't just have to, you just have to like you just have to tell them, let them know that you do this. But for me, I can tell more, I miss classes a lot. That is it. To just catch up with deadlines. I don't go to any kind I go to only important classes. Any elective or 2 units, you won't see me there. That is it.
I mean, I don't want to say anything about education system in Nigeria, but then yeah, I get you. So we have before sorry, I think someone asked a question in the chat. So before I call those that are raising up their hands, Ibitoye David asked that what's your approach to understanding user needs and goals before starting a design project? Yeah, you can
Once
see.
you understand the user need
Yeah.
goals. Okay, so me before starting a project, like once I've read the design brief and the scope of the project, the first thing, like the very first thing I do is check on competitors. Like if it's a fintech project to send money, receive money, we have Kuda, we have other competitors. Check what they are doing. There's something we call competitor analysis in UX research. So all of those you put in consideration, then you can now do your own survey on your own research. So you can just roll out Google form to get opinions from people and stuff like that. And again, if if there's this feature I'm not sure of, you definitely are not designed for yourself, designed for users. So sometimes I just go to like if last time like Google Play Store, App Store, Trustpilot, I just check this maybe any feature people are complaining about that. Probably it's taking much time to complete that task or that CTA or they're having problem with it. So what I do is that I roll out like a survey form based on that feature, then I get opinions from people, then I work on that opinion. And again, once you're done, you have to do user testing again. So to know if what you just did, if it is right. So for you to like understand user needs and goals before this thing, you have to just do UX research. And I won't even lie, that process is hard. You have to do a lot of research. You have to be sure of what you want to do. And once you are done, you have to test even before development. You can't just roll out a design out there and just give developers to work on when you're not sure of how the design would work. Don't think because it is simple for you to like understand design or it is simple for you to use that design and you feel like to be simple for Esther to use. Do you get? They're all different. So that is it. And again, one thing again is that don't kill yourself because of users. Oh. You cannot satisfy everybody. Just satisfy like 80% or 70%, you are good. So that is, people will still complain. Even like the best app in the world, you still see 0.5 star reviews. So that is one thing. You can't change opinions of, because 1% are complaining, you should now change the feature to satisfy those 1%, when you have 90% that are very good with that feature or that particular stuff they get. So just prioritize. That's it.
Wow, yeah, yeah. That insight was really nice. Yeah, prioritize and also deal with bias and stereotypes also. It's very important for UX
Yeah.
designers. Yeah, so article, you can ask your question now.
Yeah, hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Uh, Hi, Akintomo. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the session. Well,
Right.
actually, I've been following Akintomo for some while now, and I can say honestly, he's very good at what he does.
Thank you very
Um,
much.
uh, I have two questions actually. First question will be, what design softwares do you use for your projects?
What's
And
that software do
what
I really use?
yes, you use for your project? Then second question will be, how do you charge a client for a design project if you're just starting out?
Okay. So the softwares I use, my main software is Figma, of course, yes. But when I was starting, I did both Figma and Adobe XD. So, and I think the very first contract I worked on then, I was asked to use Adobe X, and I thought that I thought the handoff process for both Adobe X and Figma are actually the same, but they're different. You have to mark every design asset on Adobe X to be ready for development. So one thing is that you should make sure you learn those things. Don't just feel like everyone uses Figma. There are a lot of people that still use Adobe XD because of, I don't know, maybe they are just like comfortable with that Adobe ecosystem, because the syncing with other Adobe softwares. So learn those softwares, learn Figma, learn this. And for my flow, I used Mygo before. Then after, I got used to using FigJam. FigJam is also like Figma, so it's actually in the same app. I think FigJam is even better. Yes, they have like cool stuff there. And which other app do I use again? I think, yeah, just to. And for my UX writing, I use Gitbook. Gitbook is just like Notion, but Gitbook is for GitHub, but it's like Notion. They do like similar stuff, but I just prefer Gitbook to Notion. And secondly, charging clients. I don't really know, but it just depends on you. If you want to charge, if just charge your words. If you feel like what I want to do, I'm good, and you want to charge 700K, fine, charge 700K. But the thing is, don't be after that money that very early stage. Be after the money and don't be after the money. But it should just be like more concerned with you having weak project you can show clients. Because when I was starting, my most of my projects are actually like confidential projects. I can't show recruiters, I can't show clients. So it affected me at some point, and I had to start like reaching out to people that, okay, if you have like a free design you want to work on, I can just jump on board. It's not all about the money most times. It's not just all about the money. Make sure that you design something good that you can put on your portfolio. You get, let it be there that I did this from scratch. You read project. So once you have like 5, 6 or 3 read projects, then guy, you can just be comfortable charging anything. They are seeing your job live and direct. Give them the URL, the link. They can see your job there. So charge them anything. If you think it's 2 million, if you think it's 5 million, charge them. Landing page, don't go into less than this amount. Just set that up on this. And if you don't want, you negotiate. If you're not good with it, don't do it. Don't force yourself, because most times these cheap clients are the one that will stress the hell out of you. So yeah, that is it. Does that answer your question?
Yes, yes, thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much. I can relate to the cheap clients who stress the hell out of you. It happens. All right, Elizabeth, you can ask your question now.
Okay, good evening, Akin Tomiwa. So I have two questions actually. And the first question is from your experience and the like from experience how you've like learned and you are learning again, you are still learning what
Yeah.
can you say for like junior designers or young designers, how we can stand out? Because if we have to be realistic, the job market is getting worse,
Yeah.
and the competition is like really really high. So how can young designers, how can we be able to stand out in this, like this population of designers in like Nigeria, let me say? So how can we stand out? What are the things that we should do that will like make us stand out to recruiters, to job maybe to job recruiters? And the
Okay.
second one, okay,
Okay,
should I
go
say the
on.
second one now?
Yeah, say the second one.
Okay, the second one is regardless of like how talented you are, what you are doing, you still have to know like how to network and how to like communicate and like meet people. So what tips do you have for us, for people that they don't like know how to network, or they don't know how to start networking with people, the do's, the don'ts, and how to like communicate your work, like show your work, like promote it yourself? What tips do you have for networking?
Okay, so the first one is how to stand out. I won't lie, it's still social media. Like, you still have to be in public. You can't escape it. Do you get? For a junior designer, you can't just escape it. You still have to build in public. LinkedIn is very, very powerful, like very powerful. When I my very first workspace, like the very first version of my workspace here, I put it on LinkedIn, and that same day I got 2 gigs from random people. So the thing is that people won't just come and meet you that don't this, they don't know what you do. You won't just come and meet you that, oh, I want this design. So when like you're building in public, you're putting helpful tips out there, you're putting your designs out there, people are watching. That is one thing. Those impressions you're saying, it means people are watching. They are not aliens, they are real people like me and you, founders, recruiters and stuff like that. So like there was time I was posting on sorry, on LinkedIn like steady, and I do get good DMs from recruiters, from founders, and they'll be like, "Oh, do you want to work on this project?" Stuff like that. So you have to build in public, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, IG. You can make reels. This is why you see like these our celebrities or all these designer making content. You will see that they are promoting some kind of software because those softwares owner just reach out to them because they have the audience. Like they see what they are doing, like they are good. People would see. We have eyes, and it is designed. You could easily tell that okay, this is good, this is not good. You get unlike codes that you're not seeing what is happening on the back, but design you could tell. I can just say designer and just judge it. You get so you have to just build in public. You have to do it. You just have don't have choice. So when you build in public, then just it's what like magic. People would reach out to you. You'd get offers. That's what you're saying. Like big people like Design Queen and stuff like that. If you're not building in public, do you think like you people will be here? You won't be here. So that if I'm not building in public, Pexes won't invite me because they'll just be like people don't know the Akintoma and stuff like that. So you have to build in public. And the second question, I don't think I remember the second question. Could you please come again?
So the second question is about like tips on how to network, on how to like communicate, like talk to people, meet people in like in this tech world.
Yeah, it is code DM. Code DM works. Code DM works.
Yeah.
Like most of my developer friends, after few engagements, like I engage on his post, he does a non post, so then I reach out to DM chief, how far now, how you dey, which projects they work on, do you get just we are Nigerians. These developers make friends with them, oh, they will give you gigs, like they used to have gigs steady, they can't design shit, so they will still give it to you. And we can't code shit, so we still give it to them. So make friends with developers. I've gotten couple of gigs, like different gigs from my developer friends. So reach out to them. If you're not reaching out, if you're just there on Twitter, maybe you're just liking random posts, you're not posting your designs, you're not doing anything. I don't know what you're doing. So how do you expect me to like reach out to you? Except if you're
Mm.
going to like tech events and you are talking to founders there, they get you're saying, okay, this is what I do, you're showing them your craft. That works too. But the question is how many tech events do we host in a year in Nigeria?
Mm.
Like much people really do much tech events, not like over there, like overseas, you get. So you just have to make use of that social media. So yeah, I hope that answers the question.
Yes, yes, it does. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Elizabeth.
Thank you so much, Akitomiwa. Like some of us, like me, they are scared of social media. I don't know.
Yeah, you have to be careful. Yeah, I
Yeah,
understand.
and being introverted and all that. So I've also learned that you need to show yourself, but it's not easy to be honest. But I think you're talking to
Yeah.
me this evening, actually. Okay. Yeah, running out of time. I think we have a question in the chat box. So I'll just ask two questions before we call it a day. So Oladimeji asked, do you okay? Oladimeji asked that do you ever feel overwhelmed when you see the requirements for a product you are to design? Like you just see a product and you're
Ah,
like,
yes.
I
Especially like
mean,
this is something that doesn't really exist in the market. You get. So like currently I'm building a crowdfunding platform for Africans. I'm working on the project. It's not mine. So and we don't really have much. We don't have like aside GoFundMe, I don't think we really have much crowdfunding platforms out there. So you just have to do that research from scratch. Aside you spying on your competitors. But the thing is that you just have to do it. So that is why you have to ask like people, you have to ask your friends, you have to roll out surveys and stuff like that. And there are some projects that you can be like, God, I cannot work on this one. I cannot work because you would know that this one will come with unlimited revisions. Because even the owner of the project is not sure of what he wants, he's not sure of the features yet, he's not sure of so many things. I will tell you, don't go for such projects because it will stress the hell out of you. So yeah.
wow, thank you so much for saying that because I recently got a gig where something like that. So he put a lot of instructions, and I was just scared. It scared me. Like I was like, I just thought I didn't get the job. I didn't collect the job. So scary. All right. So before I ask the final question, so I just want to ask Akintomiwa, for people that want to slide into your DMs later. So can you tell us, are you in a relationship? Are you single? Are you in the market?
I don't know.
You don't know.
I'm
You
just
said
coming
it
back from
doesn't know.
singles meeting.
From singles meeting. We also had singles meeting
Yes.
in church today, funny enough. Is it a
Wow.
general something in Nigeria? Are they tired
I
of
think
saying us
so, you know,
uh, as well?
but the thing is that I'm not in a relationship. So yeah.
Okay, okay. Noted. All right, so finally, what? Okay, there's the question I want to ask. So finally, could you share one piece of advice or a mantra that has been instrumental in your journey as a young designer? Like, do you have a quote that you've always lived by? Do you have something that has helped you in your journey, or an advice someone told you?
Advice, explore. Yes, explore. Don't be you can be introvert, but let your own kind of introvert show. Explore, like just try out new stuff. Life is sweet. And when you're a designer, life is sweeter. You're not spending much time like fixing bugs or stuff like that. So explore, build in public, make money. Yes.
All
And
right.
again, I want to add this. So I saw something on Twitter, was it not yesterday or today, that's a newbie in design. You should not really work on case studies. Please, I'm begging everyone here, if you're just starting, please have case studies in your portfolio. Please have one or two case studies because if you just have only UI shoots in your portfolio, I promise you it will be pretty hard for you to get job because people want to see your design process. Recruiters want to know how you think, and the best way for them to know is if even if inviting you on maybe a quick meeting, they have to know how you think, and they will see that through your case studies. So have meaningful case studies in your portfolio. probably one or two. Like let it be very detailed. It really helps. Like it really helps. Some requirements, if you don't have case studies, you automatically out. That's how some of it gets like rejection made in less than 20 minutes of applying. So yeah, that is it. I think that
Okay.
is all.
Thank you very much, Tomiwa. Like this has been a joy talking with you today. I've learned a lot. I'm sure everybody else has learned a lot. So we are so glad that you honored our invitation, and we are so glad that you shared your insights with us today. And I'm happy to talk to you specifically, actually. And if you can drop your social media handle so that we'll follow you. You can do also follow Tomiwa. He posts things that is very helpful for designers, and you can just follow him on his journey and his story. Thank you very much once again, Tomiwa. I'm really happy to
Thank you
have
for
you here.
having me. So this is a shout out to Pexes. If you're a newbie starting like a new designer and you want to be really good. I don't know if you guys know Fiwa. Fiwa is one of Pexes and she's a badass designer. Like she's very very good. So we have like mad teachers there, the badass designers. So go there, sign up, probably for their. If you're not even in Lagos, yeah, they have virtual classes. So sign up and you'll be exposed to opportunities out there, design trends and stuff. Because community really matters. Let me tell you something, tech. Community really matters. And not just any other communities that makes impact. And I'm very sure like I've been part of Pexels before and I could tell like they're very, very good. So check them out and you guys must be great. My words. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Tomiwa. Like that was really great. That was awesome. Thank you very much. Like you said, you can do also check Pexel's house. I think we had a question. Someone asked, "How can I join Pexel's community?" So you just go to the website and check the classes we have. Check connect with us on our social media. Connect with us on Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and our hands are always open to help you out. This is a community, like Akin Tomiwa said today. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. I'm glad to have each and every one of you join us on the call today, and I'm sure you had an amazing time, just like I did. And once again, thank you to our speaker. It was really awesome having you here, to be honest. And we've
Thank you
learned a
very
lot
much
from your
for
insight. All
having
right.
me.
You're welcome. You're
Yeah.
welcome. All right, everyone, we've come to the end of today's session. This session holds monthly, twice in a month, for every fortnight. So we have it twice in a month. So you can do well to join us for sections such as this. You're going to learn a lot from different people and their story. And this is one of the things that you need as a designer, to be able to learn from other people's experiences and also connect with people majorly. So thank you, everyone. Have a lovely rest of the day. Good night, everyone. Good night, Tomiwa. Good night, everyone that joined us today.
Bye. Good night.
All right. Bye. Good night.
Take care, man. Bye.